Hello everyone, this is Yumi Gaming logging in and the game is Infinite Lagrange. So today we will be discussing a recent update from the developers themselves. It is the developers feedback towards the suggestions part 1. It is really uncommon for the developers to directly engage with the game game community, and I think this is one of the best parts of NetEase, and I really love the developers for that because it makes us feel that they are really listening to us. So, if you do not want to hear my commentary and my opinions, you are free to check out this article by going to the link given below in the description. I will be giving my opinions, and of course, I will be reading through the whole article they have posted. So, let's dive in. So the developers feedback towards the suggestion part 1. Hi dear explorers, since the start of the beta test of Infinite Lagrange, we received many suggestions from our explorers. Thank you all for your support. We strive to provide you a better world of Infinite Lagrange and would regularly post your suggestions to Infinite Lagrange and our team's answers to them. Please feel free to check them. I think that is a really good start, and of course we will be looking forward to hearing answers for all our suggestions given. Suggestion 1. It will be great to see factions getting some specific buffs unique to each faction. We will provide you with the personalized contents for each faction in the updated version. Okay. So I think that suggestion had been posted by many people and they did listen to it, and we can expect some special buffs to get. Suggestion 2. I'd like to see additional overlays in combat so you do not have to manually select each ship to see HP. Maybe HP bars or a side overlay showing individual HPs of each fleet. We will display more information for you in a battle in the updated version. Of course, so one of the problems we have encountered ourselves that we are not able to see the like hit points of each of our fleet without having to select it. So I think there will be some improvements because it won't take that big of a tweak. I think so. Suggestion 3. We should be able to view resources, quest, fleets, operation areas and all other functions in base view as well. The answer is feedback already received. Considering the visual simplicity of base view, we didn't add the functions you mentioned. Indeed, we have noticed the lack of some necessary prompt messages. We'll try to optimize the base view. So, this has been a major concern for many players because it is a bit troublesome to log in and out of base view and map view just to see some specific functions. So, I hope they really optimize it and make this one of the in the priority list because it will help the us to have a better gaming experience. Suggestion 4. Need to be able to see the ship list when pulling up individual fleets. Answer is feedback already received. Since the ship list itself is so complicated that we are still thinking of how to organize and design the view, you will see the improvement in the updated version. So I agree with the developers on this point that organizing and managing the interface is a really big challenge, and it might take some time before they can fulfill this suggestion. And yeah, let's hope for a better version soon. Suggestion 5. Could I get command points to make my ship concentrate fire and decide what their priorities are? The answer is since upgrading facilities, selecting targets to attack, union and communication and other functions are already very complex, we don't want you to operate too much in battle, but we will display more information in battle accordingly. I agree with the developers on this as well because uh, end of the day, even having a simple battle of 70 to 80 ships attacking a 50 to 60 ships enemy base, it results in a lot of flag. I personally do not think that Concentrating fire on any specific enemy will give any better modifications to game. I think the battle system right now is completely perfect, but yeah, I agree on the point that we need some more in-depth battle reports so that the players can gauge the efficiency of their ships and understand which ship is better. Suggestion 6: be able to view the composition of allied fleets, namely other union members. Feedback already received. Considering that not all the players want to make their fleet info public, we are still evaluating the need to make this change. Well, I think this is a really valid reply, and of course, like many people do not want their fleets to be made public. They want to keep something secret, and it depends from players to players. I personally too am 50-50 on that, on whether they should make it or not, because yeah, people need to see what their allies fleets are. Maybe they can just have hit points showing and some of the attack power, and they cannot just go into all the fleet details like what which ships are there and stuff. So just the basic details like hit points and attack power should suffice. Suggestion 7: be nice to be able to redirect ships from operations instead of just going back to base. Creating and managing operations is a part of the gameplay. However, we have noticed there were circumstances that players had trouble with some features of operations. We are trying to make changes and modifications for your convenience without against the original settings. Mm, so I think that was one of the problems even I suggested, and we need to redirect ships from operations without going letting them go back to base. But after playing, I understood that the current settings is quite optimal, and and that is, I guess, part of the core structure of how the game is based. And you can perform a variety of different maneuvers with operations, and I think they are just perfect right now after understanding the in-depth game mechanics. So I think yeah, they can maybe make some tweaks on it, but they do not need to modify it much. Suggestion 8: it will be great to see factions getting some specific buffs unique to each faction. The answer is it takes time. We are still working on it. Thanks for such a suggestion. However, up in the first suggestion number one, they said that they will be having something in the update. So let's see what happens. Suggestion 9: an auto retreat system for individual ships to make it easier. Conditions would be that the HP of the ship must be lower than 10 to 15%. Answer is we want manually retreat to be one of the few operations you have to do yourself, since the ship will avoid the danger automatically when its HP reaches 0. Adding an auto retreat system for individual ships will cause no loss in a battle, which is definitely against the mainstream understanding of space war. I think that it's a quite a valid response, because if your ships just retreat when they are 10 to 15% health, it just makes no point in the battle, because the person winning will be like, okay, I just wasted all my resources and I'm not able to set back my opponent. So what was the use of making such high class ships in my fleet if at the end of the day the opponent does not have any losses? Suggestion 10: allow the players to divide whole fleets into separate smaller groups but still under the same fleet. So, like first fleet with 14 ships divides into first squad, second squad of 7 ships each. That way, it can be possible to move ships in the battle space and let the player perform tactical maneuvers when in combat without making it a hassle to move two different fleets. The answer is this idea is very cool. It requires time to design, but we'll take into serious consideration. Well, I'm not sure on this suggestion number 10, because does it mean that the fleet can divide midway into two fleets, or they want to divide it into in the middle of a battle? Was dividing a fleet in the middle of a battle will complex the game a lot, and I think it is just the same as the point above of making ships concentrate fire on a single ship. Well, let's see what the developers have in store for us in the future. Suggestion 10, free movement course plotting. Answer is make it so that the players can manually plot a course around possible dangers or obstructions. This is the answer. Sorry. It's a common thing to encounter dangers or obstructions in space or exploration. We will add some pop-up messages when your fleet is around possible dangers for your convenience. I think yeah, they should improve some free movement and interface, because like I don't know, I think it is just a bit backward, like of fleets not being able to freely set their course, because I think that will give a lot more strategic in depth to the game and will be quite fun. Suggestion 11, info on commodity exchange has titled introduction, which is typo. Thanks for your feedback, we will correct it ASAP. Suggestion 12, if you rename the carrier class to fleet carrier, you can use the term carrier type for ships which have fighters or corvettes. It is not conventional to use capital ship to refer to frigate or destroyer. These ship would be ship. Capital ship should would be cruiser or larger. The answer is thanks for your advice. We will figure out whether this concept helps player to understand the game better. I like this suggestion and I think it is quite apt. Suggestion 13, can the base get a research button? Maybe where map view has the blueprint button. So it is a similar suggestion to the one posted above of the base view and map view having some of the major views in both of them, like the resources and the construction, etc. We are working on it to optimize the interactivity of base view, but it takes time. Hope we can solve the issue before testing the next version. So I found this line, hope we can solve the issue before testing the next version, quite interesting, because are they planning to introduce another beta test after a few weeks, or would they have an update to the existing beta test, or when was the game going to launch officially? And that did raise my eyebrows. Suggestion 14, using the term aircraft is a nonsense. There is no air. It sounds like you copied the text from some other game. Fighter and corvettes are terms you understand. Also, amphibious is wrong as there is no water. I need to make the point very strongly. Aircraft and amphibious are completely incorrect terms which spoil the flavor of and immersion into the game world. The answer is thanks for your valuable advice. We keep improving the quality of in-game text. We'll correct the related terms if necessary to see whether the change will help other players understand them better. I think this is a really valid suggestion. Even I was astonished when I saw amphibious written beside the destroyer. I was like, okay, this does not sail like it is not immersed in the sea. And yeah, the frigates and destroyers, those are all names of naval ships. So I think there was some misunderstanding, and I think this will be solved really quick. And yeah, aircraft also does not sound that apt, because it is a space fight. You do not have air in there, and we need to modify the terms used there. I like this suggestion quite a lot. Suggestion 15, in construction, prerequisite for should be prerequisites. Speed of construction and research seems good. And the answer is thanks for your valuable advice. We keep improving the quality of in-game text. We'll correct the related terms if necessary to see whether the change will help other players understand them better. So this was the end of the part one of they've the developers' answers to the suggestions. I am really excited for the game, and I'm really eager to check out how the developers improve the game, improve the functionality, and make it one of the best games ever released, and at the same time having a fine balance between pay to win and free to play. So let's see what the developers have in store for us in the future. And thank you for watching. Please do like, share, and subscribe to receive regular updates from me about Infinite Lagrange and Eve Echoes as well. So thank you for watching.